Mouths are watering here in studio. A great collaboration that's going on between two amazing restaurants. Of course, Cordelia, represented by Chef Vinny Cimino, and Swensons, represented by Chef Charles Craig, to talk about this morning. It's really cool concept, and you got to check them out. You got to go first Cordelia, and then you got to go to Swensons late night. So I would probably you first, right? And Swensons late night.
Yeah, so what I do.
Let's talk about this collaboration because you're from Akron.
Yeah.
And you probably grew up on Swensons.
I grew up on Swensons. I actually live about 8 blocks away from the Swensons that we took over last Sunday.
Yeah.
It's been a dream come true. I mean, something that I grew up, all of my formative memories, my youth really spent, living at a Swensons. I applied multiple times, trying to get a job back in the day. And, I was a little bit more of a miscreant back then than I am now, so they didn't hire me. But they allowed me to live out my childhood dream to becoming a curb server last Sunday. And we ran about 4 miles in 20-second sprints for 4 hours in the afternoon, and we had a great time. It was awesome.
So basically, you have taken some of the Swensons favorites and kind of created your own thing, and then Swensons has been able to take some of your ideas as well and kind of cross-promote this. It's great. And as a chef, to work with a chef like Vinny has got to be just a treat, too.
Oh, it's amazing. I mean, first of all, the food and hospitality that comes out of Cordelia is just amazing. And, even though we're a drive-in, we really pride ourselves on the handcrafted to order food, the hospitality we provide at cars. So Cordelia to us is kind of a benchmark that we use to kind of educate our team on this is what hospitality is, this is what food is. We're huge fans of Chef Vinny and his food, and when he was nominated for the James Beard and celebrated with the Swensons, that was an amazing moment for us. And how could we not take advantage of this mutual, just admiration and, an iconic brand that's been around for 90 years and up and coming iconic brand, like, a hero of Akron, right? I mean, it was just a really great experience.
So who said, listen, I want to make your stuff or I want to make your stuff? What was it? Was it an email? Was it a meeting?
It started off very mutually, I've been doing some versions of, my Swensons favorites out of the restaurant. And then Charles and team, they started coming in and eating food with us at the restaurant. And then, it really just kind of became that's like, hey, I love what you're doing. Hey, I love what you're doing. And, how do we figure out about doing something together? And, really about supporting community and doing more things and really having fun and celebrating food and culture.
I love it. So Chef Charles, you're making up what are you making up now?
This is our pimento burger. It's Chef Vinny's family recipe of pimento cheese, and it's stellar if you haven't had pimento cheese. Just so much flavor to it, some smoke, some sweet, savory, just a real good experience. And I spent a lot of time in the South, so I'm very familiar with it. But I've learned in Ohio, this is kind of exotic.
Yeah, it is.
And I recommend it highly.
The only time I ever really heard of pimento was like the Masters, where they would have the pimento sandwiches, right?
Yeah,
right? All the time.
Of course.
So you got the...
So what we have here is our Swensons white sauce. It's very similar to a tartar, right? Mayonnaise and relish, a little sweet, a little savory. We take some fresh raw onion, and we like the white onion. It's a great flavor, great texture. The Kool-Aid pickles that Chef Vinny crafts both of these items by hand for us, and literally Chef Vinny crafts it for us.
I love it. I love it.
It's amazing. And then we're going to take that and we're going to top it off with a nice amount of our pimento cheese here, right?
Now, pimento is just like an olive, right?
So pimento is a pepper inside of an olive.
It's that part right there.
So let me see the tattoos, by the way.
There we go.
It's a pepper in the
Now, did you guys do this on purpose, or did you actually have these separately?
Of course. No, we planned it out. Went to Lakewood Electric, saw some friends, got some tattoos. Catered it all by Swensons. It was a great time.
It was an event.
It was real.
Okay. Oh, we see the tattoos again? Yeah. Where you want to see them? Right here? On that camera right there. So put them together. There we go. Look at that. Pimento Brothers.
Right.
With the Kool-Aid pickle on it.
And the
right below the one.
There it is. And then we finish it off with the Kool-Aid pickle and the olive. And it's, to Chef's point, this is kind of an homage to the Galley Boy, but it's his products, right? So we combine the classic Galley Boy garnish with the Kool-Aid pickle, and it just sets it off. The color's beautiful.
And of course, you got to have a drink to go with this.
You got to have a drink. So, at Cordelia, we are doing our versions of different types of, Swensons fan favorites. We have a Galley Boy tartare on the menu. We're doing oysters with a California granita. We're doing like a California slush float dessert. And then, of course, we're doing our version of a California cocktail. So we have these cute little
That's amazing,
souvenir cups.
Yeah.
There we go. Yep, all around souvenir cups. It's got the Cordelia logo and the Swensons logo intertwined.
Right.
It's so cool.
That's pretty
and then,
cool.
so we're making like, our version of a California cocktail. So we have a little bit of white rum, some lemon juice, and then, our best amalgamation of how we think California's tastes in our head.
Yep.
So we have a little bit of Verner's ginger ale,
Love
and
it.
of course, copious amounts of grape soda.
That's great. And this is not available at Swensons.
It is not.
It's at Cordelia
The
as well.
rum specifically is
Right,
not
that's what I
available
figured.
at
That's what I
Swensons.
figured knocked you out.
We
You
can
gotta
do a
come to my house,
California
come
for
to
you,
my
no problem.
You can do California, but this is a little adult version at
of course,
Cordelia.
Exactly, and it's a fun thing. We celebrate food, we celebrate flavors, we celebrate the history of it all, and it's fun to be able to reinvent it in different ways, and then still it's all the same in some way, shape, or form. But it's enjoyable to spend it with good people.
We got a few more seconds left, Chef. So why don't you just kind of hit with the other stuff that you have here on display?
Sure, and I just kind of brought some classic items.
Yeah.
Both Chef Vinny and myself have a deep affinity
Deep love.
for the fried
bologna.
bologna
Okay,
sandwich.
yeah,
It's
exactly.
amazing. The Galley Boy, home of the Galley Boy, is
Yep.
Swenson's iconic. And then our double cheeseburger, right? And then
That's awesome.
Over here, we got the pimento cheese and saltines, which is our version of the appetizer you get at Cordelia.
Right.
And then, of course, the burger.
All right, I got to try this.
Yeah,
please do.
Please do.
Because I was going to.
Here, I'll cheers you on it.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
We got to get in there.
I love this.
All right.
So again, it's available at Swensons and at Cordelia. At limited time, or we keeping it
All
around?
month long.
All month long. That's so fresh. Oh, so good.
So good.
Thank you very much. Go to Cordelia, go to Swensons. All locations, Swensons?
All locations.
21.
21
Thank
of
you
them.
both.
Great.
Congratulations.
Thanks so
Thank
much.
you for representing Akron
Yeah.
too and bringing it home for them. Much more coming up. We're going to keep eating.